What's going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another episode. Why? Actually, none of us are wearing our team colors today.
No, we gave it a rest. I need to do laundry, so.
All right. I am one of your hosts, Eric, the Instigator. Alongside me, Nick.
Yep, Nicholas Martinez.
Still don't know a nickname for you yet. And as always, reliable, Marco, the Interrupter.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
No interruption there.
I'm good.
I was setting you up. You're sleeping, bro, right now.
I am sleepy. Well, I should have drank coffee or some shit like that.
You want some? I might send upstairs. You want some?
At the end.
If I need you awake now.
I'll wake myself up. Sorry. Let's see where the conversation leads us, and maybe that will wake me up.
All right. So
You doing the bubbles again?
we're all over the place today. I'm sorry. Thank you for joining. Before we get into everything, I know usually we do the challenge, and this week is my challenge, but we kind of ran out of ideas. I was gonna do a new TikTok challenge, but there's nothing trending right now.
Recommend us some TikTok trends right now.
Give us something, give us some challenge to do, please.
Let's avoid hot sauce.
Avoid like chugging stuff, like this guy was saying drinking the water from the mustard bottle, and this guy was saying take a shot of ketchup, like.
And for anybody else, the ketchup would be okay. For Eric specifically, he hates ketchup, so he would never do it.
But in general, like, can I do like something like not torture? I don't want to throw up anymore. I just don't want to throw up anymore.
That's what everybody likes.
Oh, jeez. This is a footy pod, all right, channel, not some weird fetish stuff. But yes, give us some more suggestions for our challenges, please, because we need them to continue going forward. And I will do my next podcast / video. So tune in for that. And if you want to watch that, you can watch that in the following ways. Nick?
You can watch us on YouTube at Benchwarmers FC TV.
Marco, where can they give us a follow, a like, a little comment, give us a suggestion for the next challenge?
You can send us all your suggestions.
Are you sleeping today, bro?
At Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, including TikTok at Benchwarmers FC1.
All right. And if you want to email us your suggestions, I don't think anybody emails anymore.
I haven't checked it.
I get spam. That's all I get.
I have to check.
It's bench.benchwarmersfc.com. If you want to watch our streams, we are streaming, our road to Division 1 in FIFA Pro Clubs FIFA 22. You can watch that at Benchwarmers FC.
One?
No, it's Benchwarmers.
Hey, wait to screw it up, Nick. Way to screw it up.
We had it all perfect.
Because you looked at us, it was like.
Oh, you want the confirmation?
I was looking at Marco for
him?
confirmation. He gave me the nod. I was like, all right, Marco, give me the nod. And we move on. We carry on.
So Twitch is Benchwarmers FC, guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Are we getting anything else? We got everything?
You can listen to us on Benchwarmers
Oh,
FC.
God, yeah. Right. The podcast.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify.
All right. I just completely lost here it is. Okay. Thank you, Marco, for picking us up there. Now that we are ready to kick off the Prem week recap, anything you guys want to get off your chest before we get into past weekend's games?
No, sir.
All right, let's do it. Marco?
Yes.
Oh, talk
not
to us.
off of my chest, but
Oh.
I do want to give you the acknowledgement of the fact that you have been right very, very consistently these past couple of weeks.
Thanks, man. Well, I said snooze fest for Liverpool Man City. It wasn't a snooze fest. I was completely wrong on that. But I got the draw.
Correct.
And
I believe you got another one too.
I said Arsenal Brighton. I think it's gonna end a draw, but I was hoping more for a win. And well,
Draw.
So we'll obviously get into all these games a little bit into the episode. But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate the luck of the draw right now. Maybe I should go play some lottery and then
You should definitely play DraftKings.
DraftKings.
I don't know what I'm
Oh, and predict the score like
Yeah.
do it like a money line. Yeah.
Or you could do the free one that NBC has. So you could do 5 predictions. You
Doesn't
got it.
the EPL boys know a lot about that? One of the guys?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to have him on and ask him about his gambling problems that he does not flaunt to the podcast.
And if you have a gambling problem, Mark, you can put the information over here so they can contact us. So, well, not us, but
he has an actual description. Like he has something that he says that he does not encourage anybody to follow his.
We don't encourage anybody to do this gambling as well. It's but yeah, you should definitely put in the description.
I'll figure it out.
Awesome. All right, so let's get into these past weekends games.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. I still have yet to use this whistle
In an actual match.
in an actual official match. I don't think I'm gonna ref a game. Honestly, bro. I think
At this point, I don't think you will.
I'm gonna end up having the courses all over again before I can ref a game. But
Eric, how you? There you have it. Okay, let's do the course all over again.
But speaking of refs, one ref who didn't come into to save the day for Manchester United, but neither was Ronaldo. He came in at 57th minute and couldn't save him either. So, Marco, Man United won, Everton won. Was the right call from Ali to bench Ronaldo to get the bat? Granted, Ronaldo is playing Champions, other competitions, and he's not the youngest guy in the team anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that Ronaldo does need a little bit more rest now at his age, which is fucked up because we when you say his age, it's like, oh shit, he's old. And he's only 40, he's only 36.
He's better shit than most of the people there.
Yeah, and he's not that far away from me. So, but I think he got it wrong this time. One, we're going into international break. Two, the first game that Portugal has a friendly, so he might not even play the full 90 minutes. And the only one that he really has to think about is the one that's a week later, which is I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday that he has. That one is for the qualifiers. So I think Ollie got it wrong this time. I think he should have put Ronaldo, but I understand why he didn't. He hasn't given Cavani that much time. I think Cavani is getting a little bit hesitant, or he's starting to feel the fact that he's not getting the play time that he got a little bit more last season. So I think he wanted to switch it up, see if it would work, and it didn't. It didn't backfire because they didn't win. They didn't lose, but they brought in Ronaldo, and he didn't have enough time to do anything.
Oh, Martial did score early in the game, and let's not forget, he still has a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. So
hell yeah, he does.
Keep an eye on that kid.
He deserves it too.
Dude, you ever seen the video of like the person holding milk duds, and then like there's a bald guy right there, and then they move the milk duds, and when I see Martial, I just like think of that milk dud. I don't know why.
That's weird.
I just think of that video, like I can't get it out of my head. What the hell?
His bald head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because whatever. But yeah. So Nico, kind of want to take it to you. And I want to give Everton credit as well, especially with Rafa Benitez. Losing Marco's 6 out of 10 player, but finding decent form. I think they're doing 3 in the back, if I'm not mistaken, right?
This one I think they did.
Or am I tripping?
I think this one they played 3 in the back. They started off with 3 in the back.
4-4-1-1.
Oh, never mind. I'm tripping then. Okay. No.
I feel
I'm talking about Everton.
Yeah.
4-4-1-1.
Oh, that's what you're showing me. I saw Cavani. I'm sorry. I see how it's lined up. I'm sorry.
I feel like the apps also don't lie to you, and within the game they change information
of course.
consistently.
But Nico, Ollie, we've seen in the past multiple occasions where his job, when it becomes under threat, under pressure, he just goes on a 15-game winning streak. You just saw the run of games that they have coming up next.
Let me mention them real quick.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Real quick. Leicester, Atalanta, Liverpool, Tottenham, Atalanta, Man City, Watford, Villarreal, Chelsea, Arsenal. That's until November 30th on a Tuesday.
So they have a rough run of games coming up.
That's one of the toughest I've ever seen.
I would actually agree with you on that. Is Ollie gonna go on this 15 game bounce and save his job again, or are we really seeing the holes in his coaching now? Now he has a Ronaldo, he has a Sancho, he has every tool he can use. We all know if it was any other coach in that team right now, they'd be getting crucified. Why is Ollie getting away with it, or do you think he's gonna go on this bounce?
With Ollie, man, I think at times we can really see the individual players of the team really not bail him out, but more so show that the result was more credit to the players than to the manager. I feel like most of the games, and I still rate Ollie as a manager.
Yeah.
But overall, as his game, as he's runs, I feel like every time his job is on the line, it hasn't been a run of this kind of games.
That's true.
And these kind of games is where we're gonna see, where we're gonna see how he gets paid and what kind of money he gets paid type thing. So, I mean, these I just mentioned right now, these are one of the toughest games I've ever seen, or runs. So I don't think so, because you have to factor in rotation, players, what players in what game,
injuries.
Also, I mean, these are big games. I mean, these are good teams they're playing up against. Yeah. So I don't think he's gonna he's gonna do that well that we probably think where we see, all right, all his job is on the line. Here comes another 9 points out of 3 games
Yeah.
or 12 points out of 4 games. But yeah, I don't really see them going crazy.
So they're in 4th place right now, if I'm not mistaken, right? And the table, it's not going to get any easier. If they continue this form, they're going to keep falling further down. Marco, do you think that after these run of games, if they don't go well, I don't know how you think their run of games are going to go. Let me ask you this: after this run of games, is Ole going to be in his job still or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that not only him, but I think the players are who really like him.
Yeah.
And are the ones that are keeping him there, because we've seen him struggle and have that all the voices chirping saying, "Oh, he's gonna get fired this upcoming weekend or whatever." But like Nico said, the players are still playing for him, and the players are still doing their job, even though for the 2-3 games that he had a bad form of or bad run, that's when the chirping started. The players are the ones that are still backing him up and saying, "Nah, he's still here."
Is this a classic situation of coaches lose games, players win them?
I mean, a good example also is the Villarreal game they just played.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
Man United had drawn that game 1-1, all his head would have been on a stick or whatever. But Ronaldo scored a 95th minute winner, so obviously it kind of overshadows,
Everything
I guess,
else.
the coaching performance.
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I do think Ole's a decent manager. Is United too big for him? I don't know. I think he's done pretty well so far, but they have to get a trophy though. This is it.
I called
8
it at
years,
the
right?
beginning. Huh?
8 years without a trophy.
It's been a while. I will.
No,
without the
four.
EPL.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
4 years without a trophy, 8 years without a Premier League title.
Yes.
There you go. That's what it was. Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, I called it, and I'm going to stick to it. This is their year, and they have to win it. And these upcoming games are going to show us a lot of what to expect towards the rest of the season.
Yeah. All right. So Everton. Actually, honestly, I didn't watch much of this game. Did you guys have anything to say on Everton? I feel bad not mentioning Everton. I know, Nick, you don't like Everton that much, and it's obviously it's your rival. But do you want to give your neighbors any credit?
I'll definitely give Rafa Benitez credit. I think he's come and done a really good job.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, he came from Liverpool, so when he came in, everyone was talking about him. There's a lot of Everton fans, I don't want him.
Yeah.
He comes in. And also, I mean, some of the players they have, like Andrew Townsend, Damari Gray, they were not maybe a year ago, they were viewed as players like they're washed type thing, like quote unquote. Now they're like really contributing to the team, especially Andrew Townsend. I mean, he was on Talk Sport like a year ago, like actually on like with a job type thing.
Yeah.
And now he's balling out, and he scored a goal against Man United. So
is that ultimate shit? Is that ultimate shit housery?
Yeah,
or
for sure.
Is that more respect? Like he idolizes Ronaldo.
On IG he posted Ronaldo gave him a shirt, and on IG he posted Ronaldo's shirt, and he put idling my goat type thing. So it's probably more out of respect, or I guess I get a bit of both. But I mean, Everton, they have like some good players like Decore, obviously Gray, Andrew Townsend.
Yo, Gray's nice. That he did stand out to me.
He's sharp, and he came from Bundesliga too. I believe he came from Bayern Leverkusen. And they also have Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison out. So we'll get to see how well they fit in, because Calvert-Lewin's injured.
Full firing Everton, yeah. So that wraps up that game. Then we have Chelsea versus Southampton, where Chelsea won this game 3-1. Mount made his return, had a very, very good passing game, so you could tell he had that influence. But I think the standout has to be Chalobah, who has a second goal as a center back, and he's how old again? It's like really young, right?
I'm not sure how old he is.
Huh?
22.
He's 22? I thought he was like 19.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty young, but I mean, it's still
pretty
young.
good. Still good. You know, he's scored second goal in the Prem so far, more than other people, right? I think it's tied with the Aubameyang, if I'm not mistaken.
How much is Aubameyang has?
Burnley, Spurs.
2.
No, I'm sorry, not Burnley. Who's from Burnley? He's from
Odegaard.
Norwich.
It's
Spurs.
2. So he has 2. He has
He
2.
has 2.
He has two.
Norwich and Spurs.
Because we only won those 2 games by a goal.
And
The first
Burnley.
2.
No. Odegaard scored versus
Oh,
Burnley.
yeah,
The free kick.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who scored the goal. You're right. Thank you. So yeah, he's tied with Aubameyang on goal. So there you go. There's that. Burner scored his goal, a nice goal too, beautiful team. I think team play on that one, and strong mentality from him. What do you think about him as a player? Okay, he has faced a lot of adversity. You know, he's missed countless amount of chances, and that would mentally destroy players. But he always manages to still get into positions, still put in the balls, and in this game he managed to get a goal. His mentality must be amazing to be able to, I guess, miss those opportunities, get all that criticism, and still produce.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember specifically maybe a year ago we were talking about him when he came to Chelsea, and we always talked about one of the topics that we talked about was his mental health and the fact that some had said that he couldn't play under the pressure of the fans.
The noise, he had like a noise
Yeah.
situation where if
Yeah.
he like lost his balance or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
I remember that.
we talked about it, and throughout the quarantine, of course, we never saw him perform properly. I mean, I personally don't think that he didn't show up as he did when he was in the I believe Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So see him now. I still haven't seen a lot of him now for this season, but it doesn't seem like the noise is really affecting him. So I don't know if it was true or not what they were saying about him. But off of what this past week, at least, I want to say, I mean, he hasn't won his spot, but I think it's somebody to keep an eye on.
Wait, his spot striker though, right?
His spot's like
But he's not
playing to
playing
the
this-
left
yeah.
or right of Lukaku. He doesn't play striker anymore, to be honest.
Yeah,
He's more
yeah.
like of a winger. He came in to be a striker.
He didn't
But-
take
But
him.
he's not gonna do that job. He's not gonna take a lot with Lukaku. So he's adjusting, and the way that he's adjusting, I think it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I think he'll be able to do it. It's just again time.
I don't think he'll be an established starter. I just think he'll be like a good
Good role player.
Yeah.
a good role player. I mean, he'll come in, do his role. I mean, he has a good profile of a play. I mean, he's fast. He can get in behind, and he can cause a couple teams trouble. But I have a lot of respect for him just because coming in from the Bundesliga to a huge club like Chelsea in the Premier League, and like I just mentioned, he was supposed to be an established striker.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come in, score goals. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I mean, a lot of players tend to crumble under the pressure.
He still keeps going.
I mean, we know what Chelsea did with managers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a lot of credit to him to not crumble under that pressure.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he's contributing, so it's not like he's terrible. I mean, good role player.
Yeah, I think before you were saying, and again, the numbers might be off on this one, but 16 disallowed VAR goals last year.
I may not know if it's his exact same
Something
number,
around there.
but it's a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean, if you think about it, 16, when you score the ball, I mean, when you score a goal and you see the VAR thing, that's 16 times. So
And he still does it.
on
And
on
keep
your
in
mind, that must be like mentally just draining.
And
It's like, damn, I can't score. I can't score.
And I'm sure the rules of VAR have changed. Like they're not as strict now, so maybe some of those goals would have counted for him last year. It just it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, Werner, man, strong mentality. And Chilwell also got to go after that chaotic freaking FIFA moment that was
Like,
happening in the
off
box.
crossbar like 2 times.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But Chilwell got the goal on his debut back to Chelsea. That wraps it up there for that game. Next, we have our lovely Arsenal, Marco. Where I'm not too upset, but I'm not happy. I'm not ecstatic, but I'm not
I'm
mad.
okay. I'm okay with the result.
So Brighton hosted Arsenal to a 0-0 in the middle of a monsoon. What it looked like, it was fucking crazy. But to kind of give you guys some perspective on the actual game, how it looked, and this is not only stat wise, but the eye test wise.
Right.
58% possession for Brighton, and Brighton's XG was 1.16 as opposed to Arsenal's 0.34. Brighton completely blew me away. I did not expect them to be so aggressive, and not to discredit them or call them a small club, but usually clubs like that don't press like that for the full 90 minutes.
And they do it consistently as well.
It's consistent.
It's not like some one-off performance against a big team that we always see. They do it consistently, game after game, week after week.
And they were missing some of their starters in Bissouma and Daniel Welbeck. I think they're missing another player as well. But I have to give credit to Brighton. As bad as Arsenal played, I think it was all due to the tactics that Graham Potter put out, to the way that they just completely shut down anything going through the midfield. So I tip my hat off to Brighton. Phenomenal performance from their end. But I'm also happy with the defense that Arsenal put in. Another clean sheet. And realistically, there wasn't really any opportunity that blew me. There was one save that Ramsdale had that was
where Ramsdale dropped it and it fell to Lewis Dunk.
No, that was a foul. So that one, I got a little nervous there, but then he got fouled. Okay, he got fouled, whatever. The one where they crossed it in, it was going to Malpe, like right there, they tapping, and he just like a cat just sprang out of his six and like dove. Not most keepers don't make that dive because it's kind of a dangerous dive. You keep running into a cleat, and he made that dive. He saved it. It was a goal. It was a game saving save that he made. So I'm very happy with the defense. Like I said, another clean sheet. Gabriel Ben White looking solid. Tomiyasu was kind of exposed.
Yeah, they had him in like they found his like weakness and they kind of like took advantage of it.
I don't think it was his weakness. I think it was the way that we set up. It was just the way that we played. Lokanga, as much as I like the kid,
still inexperienced.
And I think we're gonna miss Shaka.
Shaka, yeah,
we're gonna miss him heavy. He, as much as I hate this, I hate thinking about like right foot, left footed. Like that's huge. Like just simply the way you position yourself. Like especially if you're in that double pivot role, that means you're the one that's gonna be getting the ball a lot. So you gotta be able to turn quick. Open up your body quick. The fact that we're losing that left footedness, and even though he's so left footed, it makes me sick sometimes. He's able to like position himself and leave himself a lot more, options as opposed to Sambi. When he gets the ball, he's right footed. He ends up going out wide so that he sees the field in front of him, and then he leaves Party by himself in the middle.
That's why a lot of teams like to target a left-footed center back.
Yes,
like Laporte. So it just opens up passing lanes.
Exactly. That's we have Gabriel left-footed, Tierney left-footed, Ben White right-footed, Tomiyasu actually both feet from what it seems like. But yeah, with Party we had the right-footed, with Shaka we had the left-footed. So he had those options. Now with Sambi, I like the kid a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like credit to him for he was he was a little in over his head in the first half, but then second half he really stepped it up a lot. But yeah, man, I think Shaka's gonna be a huge miss, and all they got in Aubameyang were not in that game at all.
This may catch you by surprise, but there's this one Twitter account I follow. He's a Man City fan, and he's really big on El Neni. And he tweets about El Neni a lot and how he's underrated and how he progresses the ball a lot better than what people think. Because a lot of people call him sideways passes. I'm gonna send you this one video on his YouTube that he made about El Neni. So I want you to watch that and see what you.
To me, El Neni is like a James Milner,
right?
Like but I have to disagree with that. I mean, I'll watch the video because I'm really curious to see what he put together, but I'd have to disagree with that. But yeah, man, full credit to Brighton. Phenomenal display from them. They just cut everything out, man. They cut out the passing lanes, and with those center backs, the huge fucking center backs they have back there. I think the shortest one is 6'4".
Who's that left back? He's like 6'7".
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, the shortest center back they have. I think they play three in the back. 6'4". That's the shortest one they have.
You should be in the NBA.
How the hell did we not concede any fucking set pieces, bro? I don't know. But Marco, how'd you feel about this game? I know it's not the result we wanted, but I mean, 10 points out of the possible 12. 0 losses, 3 clean sheets. That's not bad.
I mean, honestly, I think it wasn't the performance that we would have liked, but I think we had a good performance because we were versing a team that is having the season of their lives so far. They're top 4.
Yeah. No, if they would have won that game, they would have been top of the league.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they are now. There are
possibly 5th or 6th, maybe.
6th. Yes, correct. But I mean, they're having the season of their lives so far. Yeah. They have had 7 weeks, and they're doing phenomenal. The fact that they're up there and they had the possibility of even being at the top of the league, that says a lot. So I'm okay with today's result. Well, not today's result. This weekend's result, based on we did have 3 bad ones, 3 bad games, and then 3 good ones, and I don't know. It's just that I feel like we can't always expect them to do what they did for those 3, we had to at least have one bump in the road.
Mhm.
And this is the perfect time to have that bump. We only walked with 1 point, but still clean sheet.
Yeah.
We showed that defensively we can do it against an attacking team, a team that can push us to our limit and have a really solid attack. And we didn't let it. We didn't let one through. So I think even though we can talk about how we didn't score, or how I think Party took one too many shots.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
sharks. I agree with the sharks.
Yeah,
Shit.
Yeah,
Shit shots.
took one too many of them. I think he did like 3 or 4 max.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you, Shaka? Like, come on. Not
No,
even Shaka doesn't even take.
No,
that
Sharks doesn't
many.
take that many shots. And he
Yeah,
does. It's a
did
fucking
one,
banger.
And then he's like, all right, whatever. Like, I guess today I don't have the foot. But I think he even took a free kick. So
bad. Yeah. No.
But yeah. So
Nice day.
aside from that, I just want to focus on the defensive side. And the defensive side, I think we finally start seeing a glimpse of something that we don't have to consistently worry about.
I agree with you. And that's a big thing, not have to worry about the defense. Is now we start building. We start building from there with the players like Lokanga. With those kind of players that we started to acquire with Saka, Mill Smith Rowe. They got and I don't know if you saw the interview with Jack Wilshere. One thing I like that he said a lot is that this team is very young. Don't be surprised with these results. They're still a young team. Yeah, I know there's no Europe in midweek, so they should be fresh to go. But they're a very young team, and they're not going to be on their game every single time. They're going to have to need the leaders to show them the way.
Small sidebar: where are you listening to Wilshere at?
On Sky Sports.
Oh, he's commentating.
He does.
Have you seen that interview with
David Ornstein?
David Ornstein on The
Yeah,
Athletic?
that one down broke my heart.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
but
Go on.
Sorry, that's just good for him.
On the Brighton thing, I mean, not many teams would go away to the Amex and come away with the point, let alone a clean sheet.
That's what I'm saying. I
mean, there's
think
positives.
There's going to be better teams that go there and don't come away with anything. And one thing with Jack Wilshere said, and this is what I was trying to get to, is that teams have to learn how to play bad together. As weird as that sounds, when you're not having a good game, I mean, it's going to happen. But if you learn to not have a good game and still put in the defensive work like we did on a consistent basis, then you're setting yourself up for a better tomorrow, So I'm not happy, but I'm not gonna start, tearing the walls down because
I'm not gonna start yelling at Teta out.
it's kids. It's kids. I never yelled at Teta, by the way.
You,
I never yelled at
you have never done it, so
You've never said that ever?
I never
No,
said that.
he
Never.
hasn't.
Mark, how about you?
no.
I've never.
So far, the past 2.5 years we've said it once.
I'm fully behind him. I'm 100% behind him. I question him every now and then, but I'm 100% behind him.
But you're allowed to.
Yeah. And look, opinions can change. Next month, I could probably hate the guy. So don't crucify me, guys. Just letting you know, opinions can change. Messi's the best. Just want to say that. Next game, next game, which is to me probably the game of the year so far, possibly the remainder of the season, because I just can't see any more excitement coming out of one game. The Liverpool versus Man City
Showdown.
rivalry. It's a rivalry.
Yeah, it's a rivalry.
It's a
It's a
rivalry now.
rivalry.
I think it's definitely a rivalry. All right, Nick. I didn't even know where to take this right now because there's so much that happened. The hug between Pep and Klopp at the end, just showing the respect for one another. The Salah Messi moment. The Foden showing he's gonna be the next star of the world. Bernardo Silva having a Messi moment as well in the game, putting Van Dijk in scrambled legs. Dude, where do we start with this? You tell me. I don't know where to go. I have no idea where to go because this is probably the most excited game that I've. Let me give a little backstory. I was cutting the grass. I had the game on my headset. I'm like, damn, this is too good. I left everything outside. So I went inside and watched the game.
Then fuck it.
So talk to me. Where are we going with this game?
I feel like this game deserves to be talked about half and half,
Yeah.
just because it's a game of two halves.
Yeah.
And this game was a game of two halves, like completely different halves. I mean, we mentioned Pep and Klopp. I mean, they're two of the best managers in the world.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because they're completely different styles. The way they play football, their philosophy, the way they've brought up teams. I mean, we mentioned Pep likes to, spend money or whatever. The Klopp, a little bit of opposite. So, I mean, it's two managers at the peak of their powers just going at it. It's just phenomenal to watch. Just two of the best teams in the world just go at it with the best players, just going at it like sword by sword.
I mean, literally, stats are not as far as XG goes. Yeah, it was 2-2, but there was only those 2 opportunities. Like that's how good you guys were. Like it was such a perfect showdown and so entertaining too. It wasn't like it was a boring game. You saw moments of brilliance in Bernardo Silva. Like what went through your mind when you're like, oh shit, did he just really just do that? And
You know what I think goes on with players' minds is that this happens to every player, like no doubt, is that in any sport as well, is that when there's a lot of people around one player, in your mind, it's like there's no way this guy gets out. We have too many numbers, so it's like for example, basketball 3v1. You think about, all right, we have 3 guys on one
he's
guy.
gonna get him. He's gonna get him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna get him.
There's no way either I get him, he gets him, or he gets him. And I just feel like every person in that situation, just like their effort just goes down because they think nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Takes on 2 players, takes on third. Van
Even
Dijk,
fourth.
boom, passes to Foden. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It was this game was.
But I mean, Man City the first half were like ridiculous. The
So-
way they pressed, their technical ability is just like. I mean, you mentioned every pass they make, they don't even have to look up.
Yeah, that's one thing that just blows my mind about Man City is that they don't have to see where the pass is gonna go. They know where that player is gonna be, and they put it on there, and they're always there. Like it doesn't matter. They're not looking. The ball's gonna get there. I know he's gonna be there. That's amazing for Man City. But one thing that they're missing, and I feel like this is what I kind of wanted to ask you guys about on Man City, if this is gonna be their downfall at the end, is look, the game ended 2-2. They completely dominated the first half. They don't have a goal scorer. They don't have that guy to get at the end of the game. So is as well as they are, as good as Man City are, is them not having a? Is this going to be the? They could have won this game if they would have had a strike in that first half. They could have put the game to bed quick with the way they were playing. Now, granted, Liverpool phenomenal defense. Not saying not discrediting them. Not saying that they wouldn't put up a fight, but do you think if Man City had that Harry Kane, this wouldn't be the result we're looking at right now? This would be a different Man City.
I mean, I think that's a given. I mean, when we say if they would have had, for example, Haaland or Harry Kane, I mean, I just think it's a given. You know what I mean? So, but I just think, in my opinion, Pep is just gonna have to find out his best front 3. Whether it's this game we saw Foden, Jack Grealish playing in the 9, and then Jesus on the right. It can be Foden on the left, Sterling down the middle, or Jesus or Mars on the right. So I think Pep is gonna have to find something, whether he likes to play this front 3 or this front 3, and just stick with it, and just see what can happen, and just put out his best, the best players that can combine the best. Because obviously it's not about, because we say, Mars is, he can beat any player 1v1. It's not just stick him out on the right wing and see what happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So he has to combine players and see what his best front 3. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what Pep does in terms of his midfield and his attack. And funny thing is, I feel like De Bruyne is like being used wrong. There's like I saw like some
He was off
tweets.
this game.
Exactly, I saw some tweets, and even though he scored or whatever, these past couple games, like he just doesn't seem like the player that he was before. And what I mean by that is that I feel like Pep is utilizing him in a way like some neat and tidy midfielder like Chino Silva or Thiago or Pirlo. I feel like he's not a tight space midfielder. He's more right half space, has all the space in the world in front of him, and just do what he does.
100%.
So we'll see what Pep does with KDB.
Another player that kind of surprised me from Man City's end, and then we'll get into Liverpool, is Jack Grealish, who didn't really do much.
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know if you guys viewed that tweet that I sent yesterday. And I experienced it as well, is that when Jack Grealish has the ball, I feel no threat.
He's it's just
like
drive,
exactly. And just, so the tweet mentioned, you feel more threat when Heung-min Son or Mason Greenwood or Marcus Rashford or Mane or Salah, those direct players will run at you. You feel more threat. But when you watch Jack Grealish and you're the opposing team watching Jack Grealish run at you, it's like he's going to do a little feint, maybe cut the ball back, pass it back. So it's not really, you feel that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that attacking
Like
threat.
if
Haaland's
exactly.
coming at me, oh shit, I'm gonna block the goal. But if Grealish coming at me, I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do some step over.
Exactly, and then I feel like we saw his best position not on the left wing, but on that left center mid space.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't have the whole left wing. He has. I mean, he's a neat and tidy player, so
he should be with KDB.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because I started looking at Grealish. I'm like, yeah. After you sent that tweet, I'm like, he's not really doing anything.
Like you just don't feel threatened when he's on the ball.
No, and I feel like Man City are full of not those kind of players. They have those players where you're scared. Like for example, in my opinion, probably just be Mahrez.
Well, yeah, when Mars running at you, like I'm scared, bro, because
terrified.
he can do one
But
step over and it's curtains.
On that team, give me some players who you have that immediate fear. I'd probably say Mahrez, and right now I'm Foden.
That's my two. That's my two.
Other than that, everybody
there's
just
no-
pass. They're all like very passive players. I mean, look, I'm not saying that they're not good. Obviously, they're fucking one of the best teams in the world. But yeah, I mean, I think that lack of goal threat is gonna definitely hurt them towards the latter parts of the season and Champions League. But Liverpool, man, what did Klopp tell them in this freaking locker room?
I mean, it's a huge credit to him because a lot of teams fold if they go under that first half against a crazy team like Man City. It's like, damn, we're being caved in. I mean, they're gonna cave in more. So it's a huge credit to Klopp and also the team for taking the instructions and also implementing on the pitch.
I think that's just the mentality that Liverpool have. Like, you know, they weathered the storm. Like, yo, we were able to last this, and they couldn't do anything with the ball. Let's show them what we can do. And then what do you see next? Fucking Salah making a beautiful run, and then Mane that dart across the field. It was just perfect team play.
It's just like prime Liverpool counter.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like 2017, 2018.
Exactly. We just see. I mean, Mane was on the complete left side of the field. He just darted across.
It was like Jota, Mane on the left, Jota, and they just made an X.
Yeah. They completely took the players out of position, and then boom, Salah found the opening. But credit to Mane, but dude, Salah.
Yeah, that goal was ridiculous, man. I celebrated it, obviously, but I was just like, nah, bro. Like that goal is just. It's just different. Just different.
That was a Messiest goal.
That was a Messi-esque goal where he ball rolled the defender, drops the shoulder, and just slats it with his right foot. But
weak foot too. On top of that, that's what I give him more credit.
And we like with Salah, we know like he has no weak foot, whatever. I mean, that's a great finish on his weaker foot.
He had to fit it in the tightest of margins to get it on the far post of Henderson. Like that was a clinical finish, man. But Salah it begs the question that I've been seeing it a lot online. Is he the best player in the world right now?
I think it's a mixture of two. I think it's either Benzema or him. I'll in the group chat, obviously I was like emotions, but I'll probably edge it to Benzema just because he has 15 GA.
Yeah, but they just lost to Sheriff and who else? This past weekend to somebody else?
We lost to
was it Malaga? Oh, Espanyol.
Yeah.
So I guess you can say Salah has been more like contributing to the team a little bit more.
A little recency bias, you know.
But I mean, they're two crazy players.
Where do you have a Salah right now ranked amongst the world?
Oh, top 3 without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think Salah, even though he's had ups and downs, at least this season, I think he's going to shatter expectations. And I think he's going to give Ronaldo a run for the boot.
He's had more goals at this stage than he did the year he broke the league record.
Yeah.
So
but he's definitely he's gonna give Ronaldo a run for his money.
Yeah.
When you were asking who's gonna take the boot, if it's gonna be Ronaldo, Lukaku, we never mentioned Salah, and Salah so far has been like, yo, I'm still here.
Yeah, that was wrong on us tonight.
I love his mentality, man.
Yeah, he just puts his head down and gets to work.
He's just like, he posted on IG, he was like, tough game. But we want the title and we have whatever it takes, so we're going after it. I was just like, damn, like he's just like his mentality, just like coming from Egypt to Basel. Is it Basel or Basel?
I always say Basel.
I say Basel.
Coming to Chelsea, played terribly, goes to Roma, Fiorentina, back to Roma, I believe, and then he gets shipped out to Liverpool, where everyone's saying, this guy was terrible in the Premier League. I just love those kinds of players where all the chips are down, everyone's doubting them, and they just become crazy, man, in any sport. But we mentioned the goals, great goals, but there's one man I want to talk about, guys, and that man is
Milner?
Foden?
Milner and Jordan Henderson, man. Henderson has been getting on my nerves, man. He's
well, Milner got away with
double
oh
yellow.
My god, the luckiest of calls.
So it's probably on that Milner thing. It's probably a combination of everyone views him, he's so experienced, he's so whatever. Yes. Also, probably the referee caving in towards the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think that was it.
So definitely those two.
100%.
But on Jordan Henderson, I just feel like he's just been terrible this season, in my opinion. I feel like he's been so bad, and the reason why I say that is because Klopp has put a new role in him where he's more advanced on. I wish I had the picture, but his average position this game and these past games has literally been near the box.
The opposition box?
The opposition box. Like he's
With
playing
Henderson?
he's doing up like right winger, bro. And it's just because 2 years ago we see the midfield of Liverpool is so compact, nothing gets past them. That's why that's why you saw that's why you saw Van Dijk was untouchable.
Yeah.
Because he had a midfield that was unbreakable. Gini Wijnaldum, Henderson, Firmino, whatever.
Yeah.
Henderson is so far off the pitch that there's so much space in behind. Those 2 goals that Man City scored were on the right side. Even though we give shit to Milner, I know what Milner brings to the table. But Jordan Henderson, he's viewed as he's the captain. He's been the captain for a couple years, and I rate Jordan Henderson, but these past games and especially this year, and especially with these injuries, he's just been really poor, especially his positioning, and he's been losing. I saw a stat. I think he's lost like 30%, or he's won 30% of his duels, his defensive duels.
Wow.
And normally when you think about Jordan Henderson, you think about he's intense.
Yeah, he wins. I think he always wins everything. On
Exactly,
most
but
times.
he's only won 30% of his duels. That's
That's less
terrible.
than half, dude. That's crazy.
And it's not only a detriment to himself, but it's also a detriment to Fabinho because
Yeah.
Fabinho has to cover when Henderson and Wijnaldum were on both sides and they were covering. All he has to worry about is one side. Now he has to worry about shifting to this side or staying in the middle.
Think of the one play. Bernardo took out Henderson. Fabinho got sucked in, took out Fabinho. Van Dijk got sucked in, took out Van Dijk. Yeah, you're right. Henderson should have won that duel, and then he got sucked into the whirlpool.
And I'd really like to see Henderson get dropped just because I feel
Who?
like for Thiago,
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
he's injured, but
West
when-
Ham?
I don't know. Yo, those jokes are they're funny at the time, but I was like, come on, bro. There was this one
Bro,
picture
there's
of
nothing to do. There's no other stat to troll on. They gotta find something, all right? They gotta look for
expected
something.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
But when he comes back, I'd like to see a midfield of Curtis Jones, Fabinho, and Thiago, just because it's just more creative, and I feel like Thiago at this time he's more disciplined than Henderson. Right? I honestly have no idea what's going on with him. Whether it's an instruction from Klopp, because Klopp said it after the game where he said, sometimes I don't know what these players are doing. He mentioned we were doing long balls that I didn't say to do it, and I just got pissed off. Not obviously those exact words,
Yeah,
but
that's what you're
along those lines.
That's
So
crazy,
whether
bro.
it's a Klopp instruction or to someone else, I don't know. But the overall, my point is that Jordan Henderson has been terrible, and I like to see something be done about it.
So you got your hot take right there. Henderson should
Henderson
be
out.
dropped. Henderson out. But somebody who I think has made their stake to be on the starting lineup for England is Phil Foden. After that masterful display for such a how old is he? 20 years old now, I think.
I think he's 19.
No fucking.
Let me
way.
see. Let me double check.
There's no way he's still 19.
If he's still 19,
He's been
bro,
19 for the past 3 years.
That's facts. Let me see.
He's
Real
19
quick.
for the past, right?
Phil
21.
Foden, he's 21. Oh,
Okay,
never mind.
okay,
I'm like
okay.
way off.
So yeah,
He's
it's
been
literally
19
been
for the
past. Oh no, too. But whatever.
You're close enough.
Goes. Phil Foden, man. For Nick, I know you're a huge fan of his. Marco, do you think he could ever carry this Man City team to a Champions League final again and possibly win it?
Yeah. I think Foden has the what it takes, and I think that as long as Pep is around, even after Pep, let's say Pep is no longer there, Pep has installed and showed him such a way of football that he can bring any team to the Champions League finals as long as he's fit and he's consistent. And I think Foden is the future of Man City.
And Nick, do you think he's the
And England,
future
it doesn't
of?
matter.
I was gonna say that next. You think he's the future of English football?
I do. I think he's one of the most talented players, English players of probably this century. I think he's just so technically gifted at this young age. I mean, he's 21, but he's still young, and he also has the output. I mean,
we've seen what Pep can do with players. We've seen what he did with Bernardo.
right.
But he brought Bernardo. He didn't play him for like the first year, and then developed him, gave him a role. But not only one role. I think he has multiple roles now, and Foden is basically the same thing. It's just on the opposite side.
Yeah,
Well,
Bernardo
that's-
does it on the right. Foden
that's
does it on the
That's
left.
what Pep loves. He loves players that can play every position.
and the only thing missing with Foden is that he can't play on the right still because he's a lefty. We normally associate righties now. I mean, back in the day, it was righty on the right, lefty on the left.
Yeah.
Now we think of like Salah, Mahrez, Messi on the right. He still doesn't have that attribute of like cutting in, but on the left, he's phenomenal.
When you add that attribute, oh man, it's a different animal they're dealing with. And KDB's goal was another he did deflection, right?
It was going to Alisson's right. It was gonna be a comfortable save, and then Matip like stepped in.
That's right. Yes. And then that was the second goal. And honestly, the game was just like intense back and forth. Great game. Like Nico said earlier, the ref kind of lost control of it for a bit, but other than that, it was arguably the best game of the season so far. I don't know what else can top that at the moment, but we shall see. With that being said, that's all we got for today, guys.
That's correct.
Any final thoughts? Any final anything you want to get off your chest before we call it a wrap?
No, sir.
All right. So since there's no Premier League predictions this weekend, we are actually going to do something a little bit different this Thursday. We're going to have more of an open forum, open conversation. So I am going to leave you with one question, and as well as you guys, so that way when we come here again on Thursday, we can kick it off. So you don't have to answer it. Obviously, don't answer it now. You guys can leave a comment or send us a message what you guys think should happen. But how do you guys feel about the World Cup possibly being every 2 years? With that, we will end it there. Wish you a good night. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Helps us out tremendously. Leave us a comment and review. It definitely gets us exposed more so that we can continue doing this. And hopefully share your voice on here as well. If you don't want to come here in the studio, we are setting it up to go virtual and do it online as well. So we can reach you from anywhere, honestly, in the world. You right? Pretty much. With that being said, we are the Benchwarmers, the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.